So, my roommate Jake rented this apartment with two other people. One of them backed out immediately before signing anything, and the other Jeff didn't want to sign anything as he needed to be able to move out on quick notice. Jake agreed with Jeff. The condition was that he'd send him his share every month, and Jeff would arrange 2 more roomies as soon as possible. Well, that's where me and Pete come in. We know Jeff from high school. We needed a place to stay for college, and Jeff asked us to live here on the same conditions as he did. Anyways, everything was split 4 ways, usual stuff. Prior to the whole stuff that's going on right now, Jake suddenly had his girlfriend over all the time, but no one brought it up as it ain't uncommon to have your girlfriend over for a few days. We all do it. But when she was here a full week, made a load of messes, made our utility bill way higher, and literally never left the apartment. We talked to Jake, who informed us that she was staying for a few weeks because she lost her place and her job. We were all pretty pissed, pointed out he should discuss crap like that beforehand and how she could at the bare minimum pick up after herself. He simply replied it was his name on the lease so he could do whatever. However, he talked to her about cleaning up after herself. Obviously, we were pissed, but then all hell broke loose in the world and we were stuck with her. It just kept getting worse, more messes, water bills through the roof, kitchen trashed, other people's food disappearing, etc. Despite multiple attempts to speak to them, demanding she pay her share of the rent and utilities, etc., it always ended with "it's my name on the lease." Long story short, we found a new place for the 3 of us, sent our last month's rent with a notice we were moving out since he is entitled to a 30-day notice lease or not, and packed our stuff, which includes 90% of furniture, kitchen utensils, etc., and moved out into our new place. Endless messages from Jake stating he can't afford it alone, how he'll go broke, and he doesn't know anyone who wants to move in, and begging us to come back, even crying on the phone. So we all replied with "it's your name on the lease, bro, right? Now we want to know whether we are idiots, since we all feel like we kinda are regardless of his behavior." Not the idiot. You talked with him repeatedly, your concerns were completely valid, and you gave him ample time to remedy the situation. He literally shut you down with "I'm in charge of the whole house," so unfortunately, yes, he's in charge of the whole house. Great life lesson: if you devote all of your time and effort to shut down people's reasonable objections to your behavior, most of them will not actually just shrug and accept your behavior. They will just stop trying to include you in their solution. Not the idiot. Karma, table for 1. Or is room for 4. He'll have to find other roommates. If he can use the fact that his name is on the lease to create an impossible living situation for the 3 of you, then you have the freedom to move out without notice. Hopefully, he'll learn something from it. Like if he's dependent on others to help him meet expenses, he should treat them better and listen to their grievances instead of playing the despot. Not the idiot. It's my name on the lease. Once that statement was being used as a defense against idiotic behavior, the outcome was a certainty. There is an important lesson for all involved here. Contracts on paper are enforceable. You could have easily vanished in 1 day before rent was due. You did the right thing, he and his girlfriend did not. On the other end of the scale, one of my friends did a midnight flit, leaving his roomie on the hook for rent and utilities as they approached the end of their lease. I kept that in mind when my friend asked to borrow money. I, 29, have always supported my girlfriend, 23. We have been together for 4 years now and lived together for 1. She has always had anxiety, as well as depression, where some months are worse than others. I have supported her through all of this and understand it is very hard for her. In January she lost her job due to the current world circumstances. By March she hit a low point with not eating as much, crying, irritability, typical traits of depression. I have comforted her as much as possible and taken care of everything. However, at the beginning of June I was allowed back to work, and since the house has fallen to shambles, I am too tired by the time I come home to do anything, even cook. Most nights we order takeout, and on the rare occasion, she makes food. The floors aren't being washed, hoovering isn't being done, laundry is a mountain, and dishes are everywhere. I try to keep on top of it, but with work, it is almost impossible. She is home all day. She lies in bed till late afternoon, watches Netflix, eats bowls of cereal, and naps. That's about it. I've tried to gently coax her to do more, and she says she will get to it but never does. I finally snapped, told her I was sick of her doing nothing all day and leaving the housework to me. That if she is here and I am working, she needs to be pulling her weight. She got upset and said that she wants to, but she can never find the motivation. That she is tired all the time. I said I understood she was depressed, but it isn't an excuse to do nothing and be lazy. No one likes housework, but I won't take any more excuses about it. She needs to start doing it or leave. The next day I come home to a clean house and a note from her saying she was sorry and is going to stay with her mother. Her mom helped her clean before they left. I tried calling, but she wouldn't pick up. When I rang the house, her mother answered and had a lot to say. She was furious. Telling me about how she is struggling and I am making her worse. That I should be supporting her, not ignoring that she is in a bad place. And so on. I was told my girlfriend had been crying all day in her bedroom and I feel awful. I never wanted to hurt her, I just snapped. I tried to get her mother to give my girlfriend the phone, but she wouldn't speak to me. It feels like a lose-lose situation. On one hand, I know depression results in lack of motivation and cleanliness. And on the other, I can't stand to see our home in such chaos. I've never had depression, so I can't say for sure how bad it truly is. That's why I find it more difficult to 100% empathize. Am I the idiot for telling her depression isn't an excuse? No idiots here. When I was a toddler, my mom had really severe depression that she was unable to take care of me and my brother. My dad was at work 5 days a week. My mom's friend would be around during the day to take care of us, and then my dad would come home from work and spend evenings and weekends taking care of a 2- and 6-year-old, cook dinner and clean the house. I'm sure it was tough on him, but my mom wasn't well and he did what he could. My mom is the least lazy person I know. Depression can destroy you, that even getting out of bed can be too much, so cleaning is something she can't manage yet. But, I get that you're on the other side of it, so it's a difficulty for you. You're the idiot, but gently. Calling her lazy was out of line, and that's the reason for my judgment, especially if you know she suffers from severe depression. I have the same mental illness, and for me, it's not a matter of being lazy as it is being just unable to do or start anything because of how overwhelming it is. So being called lazy was certainly not the right way to go. You should not have to deal with a load all by yourself, so maybe she needs more intensive help than she's getting. But the lazy was a low blow. No idiots here, and I'm saying this as the girlfriend in this situation. I've been out of work since March and it's hard. I've been actively looking for work and keep getting ignored or denied. My fiancé works 12 hours a day and gets so frustrated at me for sleeping all day and not cleaning, but I'm exhausted mentally and there's no reason for it, but it's just so hard. Quarantine is really messing with everyone's mental health. I've worked since I was 16 and never went without a job, so it's taking a huge toll on me. I get so angry at my fiancé some days for not understanding. Long story short, my mom and dad are temporarily staying with myself and my fiancé in our house. They've been here 3 weeks already and will be here 3 more. I wasn't sure about moving them in because my parents, mom especially, have been a bit funny about my relationship. We're both women. My fiancé said that she was fine with them staying and that being around us might actually get them more comfortable with it. On coming in, mom and dad gave us the whole "don't worry, we won't intrude, you won't even notice us," and predictably within 24 hours, we were acutely aware of their presence. They react to everything we do with a comment or them pulling a face or something. They once told us to save it for the bedroom when we kissed and were told to put the bedroom eyes away when we just looked at each other. They're good about knocking when we're in our room, but communal areas are presenting a serious issue. Then tonight while I was cooking dinner, my fiancé came into the kitchen. I asked her to set the table, and as she walked past me she touched my arse, and mom saw. At dinner mom said we needed to have a talk and went on to say that she saw the PDA, public display of affection, and she would appreciate a little more discretion, and then basically went into a longer version of save it for the bedroom, but this time adding that we're stuck together, so let's try and make it comfortable for everyone, and presented it as a hygiene issue because we were in the kitchen. This really pissed me off. Honestly, it's pissed me off for 3 weeks now. This was probably just where I hit boiling point, but to be actually sat down and given a talking to about PDA with my fiancé in our own home at 28 years old would probably make most people hit boiling point. I said that this is our home and we should be able to express affection, especially as we're doing them a favor letting them stay with us, so not only will we not go out of our way to make them more comfortable, but we're going back to our regular PDA levels starting now. Mum said that this was the opposite of what she wanted going into the conversation, and she feels that I'm being immature by saying we'd go heavier on the PDA from now on, and said we're still your parents, young lady. I responded, and this is my house. My roof, my rules. Mum then got up and stormed into the guest room and has said she won't come out until I apologize. My fiancé is happy I said something, and I admitted I should have a lot sooner, but dad is pushing me to apologize, not for the rest of it, but specifically for the use of my roof, my rules, as mum used that on me constantly as a kid and feels I'm throwing that back in her face, but dad is being otherwise reasonable and says she shouldn't have talked to me like that. It's just that one phrase has really upset mum. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The way she reacted, I'd think she caught you and your fiancé groping each other while kissing open-mouthed in communal areas. But a quick love tap, kissing, and eye contact. In your own home, under your own roof that is your property. Nope. Sounds like your parents need to seek different living arrangements. I'm aware that I'm saying that without knowing why they're living there temporarily, but if they're able to afford different temporary accommodations, that should be a priority option to look at now. Though admittedly, it's too bad that this is tricky right now as well, given the coronavirus stuff. Not the idiot. I got this phrase a lot as a kid too and hated it. Not because I disagreed in principle, but it was a way for them to shut down the discussion without hearing me out. I swore I'd not do that to my kids, and so far haven't. I absolutely laid down arbitrary rules and try to explain why. But I try hard to hear them out and acknowledge their concerns and viewpoint. And very occasionally I will adjust the rules accordingly if they make a good argument. My thoughts are that this will help them more later on than just saying my roof, my rules. Totally not the idiot, and you need to flip the script on her and tell her you're fine with her staying in the guest room, but once she's calmed down enough and ready to rejoin the rest of you, you expect a full apology for her disrespect for both you and your fiancé. If they're that uncomfortable in your home, they can leave. It's not up to you two to change how you act in your own home in order for her to be okay. It is however up to her to be a respectful guest in your home. For context, my wife, 25, and I, 27, have been married for 3 years. We have a 2-year-old daughter and live in a 2-bedroom apartment, which isn't very big. Outside of this argument, we have a solid relationship and I love her very much. Ever since our daughter was born, my wife has decided to be a stay-at-home mom until she starts kindergarten. While surviving without her paycheck is very difficult considering the area we live in, she was adamant that this would be best for our daughter as she had read developmental books saying that children should spend their fundamental developmental years with their mothers. As a result of this, I'm the sole breadwinner and I work 2 jobs to support us, one of which is a manual labor job. When I come home from work I'm exhausted and I just want there to be dinner on the table and for the house to be clean. This has been our arrangement since our daughter has been born. While we share childcare, she is responsible for all other household duties. Lately, my wife has admitted that she's resentful of the fact that I don't help out more at home. While I'm constantly stressed and tired from work, she expects me to share the household responsibilities as well, such as cooking a few times a week, washing the dishes when she cooks, doing the grocery shopping with a list, babysitting for full evenings while she goes out with friends, and so on. I myself don't have the pleasure of going out drinking with friends either, and her requests seem unfair. She has all day to do these things and they are her job. I told her how I felt about it and now she's giving me the cold shoulder, complaining about how it's because I have a toxic masculinity view of household duties. This isn't true. If the roles were reversed and she was the one constantly working, I wouldn't dream of asking her to help with running the household on top of that. Am I the idiot or is she being the unreasonable one? I seriously don't see what I've done wrong here. Not the idiot. Mainly because it sounds like her becoming a stay-at-home mother is something she pressured you into doing despite it meaning you would have to take a second job, rather than it being something you both wanted. Also, being a mom is her first job, housekeeping is the second. It's fair that if you have to have 2 jobs to make it work, then so does she. Tell her that you will gladly help out around the house when she goes back to a paying job, so that you can drop one of yours, that this arrangement was her suggestion and her choice. Not the idiot. You have to work 2 jobs to support the family because your wife decided to be a stay-at-home mother. Also from what you wrote, it seems she decided on this after daughter was born. Furthermore, she is adamant about it, that is not giving you any choice. She is an idiot and a very big one. She should be doing all the household duties. If she wants you to babysit for full evenings so she can go out with friends, then she should also babysit for full evenings so you can go out with friends. Not the idiot. First, house chores are very overrated and take at most 2.5 hours per day if you cook from scratch, no microwave meals and things like that. Technology already solved that. Second, if the breadwinner works 2 jobs, then yes, they shouldn't lift a finger with house chores unless it is the holidays and you are having a lot of guests coming. In my opinion, send your wife to work and drop one of your jobs. Then split all house chores. I gave birth to mine and my husband's first child 1 week ago. My husband and my mother-in-law have since then been acting like I'm extremely fragile and should be on bed rest. I really don't feel as fragile as they think I am. I can do mostly everything I used to do before getting pregnant. Just now, with some mild discomfort and pain downstairs, I've gotten through the worst of it by now. Due to having a newborn and with everything going on at the moment, my husband and mother-in-law have been lecturing me if I try to do anything other than stay in bed with our newborn. If we need anything from the store or have to take care of anything that requires for us to go outside, my husband will be the one to run out and take care of it. I've only been out less than a handful of times since giving birth, and these were just for occasions that I absolutely had to be there for. Today my husband and I decided we were tired of eating unfrozen chicken broth and neither of us had the energy to cook, so he went out to get us some takeout. He came back about an hour later with no food. It should have taken him 15 minutes max, as the place he was going to was fast food and like a 3-minute drive from our house. Mind you, he left his phone at home because it was uncharged, so this entire time I had no way to contact him and ask where he was at. When he came back, he told me he had been downstairs at my mother-in-law's apartment the whole time. She's our neighbor, mounting her TV and getting a few things done for her. He asked if I still wanted takeout. I was obviously annoyed that he couldn't at least come back upstairs and let me know he'd be taking care of his mom's apartment first and had me waiting for him thinking I'd get some food by the end of it. I told him no, I'd go get my own food now and that I'm tired of sitting at home just because he and his mom say I should. As I was leaving, he asked if I didn't feel bad leaving our newborn. I told him that he obviously didn't, so why should I? The thing is, I do feel guilty and I don't know why. I feel like we should both be with our baby right now, even if he thinks remodeling his mom's apartment is more important. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It is his baby too. I think he should be able to handle things while you run out and grab some food. And the fact that he tried to manipulate you with some guilt crap about missing your child is a serious idiot move. I think it is time for a major chat with your husband, that you are a grown adult and you are able to decide what you can and cannot do. I would also suggest telling him that you two are this baby's parents and his mother shouldn't be in everything and she doesn't get a vote. Best of luck to you. They sound like a crap combo. Not the idiot. I have a 2-week-old and a 6-year-old. Had a professional lunch with both kids at home. Hubby took care of both, with no mother-in-law, for 2 hours. Because he supports my career and my ability to parent too. You had a baby, you need to be up and moving. It's good for your mental health and great for the baby. Also, if you get the baby outside on some stroller rides, the fresh air will help it sleep better at night and be more alert during the day. You go, mamacita. No idiots here, you two are 1 week into having a new baby. Sleep screws. Hormones are crazy. Your entire life has been flipped upside down. Plenty for dad. Double for mom. Just try to be patient with each other. This is a short, emotionally charged, tough season. Little annoyances will feel like the end of the world. Mistakes will be made. But just try to lean on each other, laugh a little, and remember you're both full on crazy pants right now. Congratulations on your little one. I wish you a good nap.